Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Blocky here, and this week we are doing a Crunchyroll Originals anime tier list. Now, I know there aren't a lot of Crunchyroll Originals, but I thought this would be an interesting tier list just to kind of give my thoughts on each and every series. Now, I think there's only one series down here that I haven't watched or given an attempt, so yeah, when we get to that, I will just go ahead and say based off what I think, because I've read the synopsis for it, but I just never watched it. Anyways, let's get into it. Firstly, High Guardian Spice. Trash. I put this on here. I know it's not really technically an anime, but I put this on here because it's on Crunchyroll, and I thought, like, a lot of people in the anime community were the ones who knew about it, so it's like, yeah, let's just put this on here and kind of shame Crunchyroll for making a bad show. Shame on you. Tower of God, though, is good. Tower of God is actually what got me to read the webtoon, and the webtoon's amazing. The Tower of God anime is actually really good. It condenses about, I think, 75 chapters or something like that into 12 episodes, and it does it surprisingly well. The animation is solid. I mean, everything about it's pretty good. It's a good adaptation. I mean, certainly better than the next adaptation, which is God of High School, which I'm gonna put God of High School on average. I've also read the webtoon for this one. I'm not as big of a fan of God of High School as I am of Tower of God. It was okay. And it's reflected in the anime. Like, the anime was okay. The animation was the best part. Animation and choreography for the fights were, like, the best part. But for the most part, like, the series was kind of just okay. I mean, it didn't really have much of a story. And, like, even in the webtoon, it didn't really get a story until, like, way later. Like, I felt like the story was kind of always rushed and everything like that. But then as it got further along, it got better. But anyways, yeah. God of High School is just average. It's okay. Now this is going to be a series I actually really like. Tonikawa, or Fly Me to the Moon, or Over the Moon for You, or whatever the heck it's called. There's multiple different billion names. I'm just going to call it Tonikawa because that's what I always call it. Good, wholesome rom-com. Can't ever go wrong with that. The animation's not the best, but who cares? You don't really need godlike animation for every show. I love the characters. The comedy is great. The wholesomeness. It's all really good. Just overall, a really enjoyable series. Next, I have an anime that I consider to be a sleeper. So many people either don't watch this anime, or if they do watch it, don't like it. And I'm just like, why? Inspector is so good. Like, it's actually one of my, like, favorite, like, psychological kind of mystery, spiritual kind of series. I don't know what it is about it, but I just absolutely love this series. I think it's the main character. She's sassy. She doesn't take no shit. And yeah, it's just a good show. Is it the best show ever? No, I wouldn't call it the best show ever made, but definitely very solid. And I don't understand the hate this show gets. I wouldn't say it's like hate per se, but it's definitely like, I mean, if you look on Mal, it's got a lower rating than series that are like actually bad. So it's like, okay, I don't know why. Like, it doesn't even have like a 7.0 rating, and I'm just like, who watched this and thought this was like a 4 or 5 out of 10? Like, this show is good. Highly recommend it. Please give this show a fair shot because it's actually really good. Now, I didn't know this was a Crunchyroll original, but I looked it up, and this is a Crunchyroll original apparently. So, So Am a Spider So What's gonna go above God of High School and good. I really like So Am a Spider So What. However, the second half really fell off. And by really fell off, I mean, like, it really fell off. Like, the first half, good animation, still good story, had the world building, the main character being hilarious. And a lot of this stuff was still in the second half. The main thing that fell off for me was the animation, I think. The animation was just so bad in the second half, especially when we got to, like, the final fight of the anime. And it was, like, it's supposed to be this big, epic fight. You're finally getting to see, this form of hers that we were seeing, and, like, the future moments and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, and then you just make it some of the absolute worst CG I've ever seen in my life. And it's just like, God, it was so unwatchable. It was actually pretty bad. And it almost ruined the anime for me. But the rest of the show is really good. I enjoyed the characters. The world is fun. I mean, yeah, it's just overall a pretty decent show if you can get past the bad animation towards the latter half of the series. Noblesse. I have not read the webtoon for this because by the time the anime came out, it was already over or about to be over, and I'm not paying for a series for every chapter, I should say. I'm not going to pay to read every chapter of a series. That's dumb, and I still think that's a dumb feature to this day. On any platform, all you freaking webcomic reading platforms, you all suck, every single one of you. But we're not going to get into that today. Noblesse was okay. No, honestly, it was all right, but it wasn't like the best show ever. I didn't think it was like amazing by any stretch of the means. Like it was fine. I mean, I had some enjoyment out of it. Like it was okay. It wasn't anything over the top though. Fena the Pirate Princess. This is a series I wanted to enjoy, and I liked the first like 2 or 3 episodes, and then it kind of just didn't work. I think this series was something that didn't work because of its length. It needed to be 24 episodes or 26 episodes or whatever. It needed that extra 12 or 13 episodes just to be way better, because it started off really strong and then it just went nowhere. It was just like, then all of a sudden the pacing just super sped through, and it was just like, why? I don't understand it. But yeah, the series was ruined by bad pacing, and weird, and like characters not really developing or anything like that. Like it was very strange series, but not necessarily terrible, just below average. X-Arm, we all know this is like the top series. It's the best Crunchyroll original anime ever made. We all know it's got the best CG fights. It's just so amazing. I mean, look at how they combined CG and 2D together. It worked so well. It is the absolute best anime on this list, and it's not even close. Okay, in all reality, the show's garbage, but we all already know why. Yeah, the show's absolute ass. The manga is actually pretty decent, so if you're somebody who watched the anime, hated it, give the manga a go. It's actually pretty good. They just absolutely butchered it with this anime. But yeah, I made a video on this one recently, or not on this one specifically, but it was in a video recently I talked about with my least favorite anime, GBA. Obviously, I absolutely despise this anime. Actually, I'm gonna rank it below X-Arm, even though X-Arm is objectively worse. I hate GBA. It is one of my least favorite anime. I absolutely despise this show. It's not good in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, it's trash. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It's garbage. Don't watch it. I'm doing you a favor. I'm saving you some time. All right, now this is the one I haven't seen, but it sounded decent, so I'm just gonna throw it there. And it looks kind of decent too, so I'm just gonna throw it there and just leave it at that, because I have not seen that show, and I forgot to put in a fucking haven't watched here. But yeah, that's my list. We got 2 in every category except for bad, because there's 3 bads. Yeah, you know, a lot of people hate on Crunchyroll original anime, saying that like they're all bad, and like they don't have the best reputation, but for the most part, most Crunchyroll original anime really aren't that bad. I mean, there are problems with some of them, animation, you know, bad production, pacing. I mean, each series has their own like negative fault to it, but like what anime doesn't? Pretty much every anime has at least one thing wrong with it. Like there's no such thing as a perfect anime, and a lot of these shows are like a perfect example of that. Like Tonikawa and Inspector, for instance, are both series that I absolutely love, but they are far from perfect. Tonikawa, again, the animation's a fucking atrocious. It's bad. Like it's not good. But I mean, I like the rest of the series. The characters are cute and funny, and the romance is wholesome. So it's like, okay, well that works. Still ends up being a really good series. Inspector, it's got an animation problem. I mean, it's got a story problem, a pacing problem, but like overall, the anime's still really good. I really enjoy it, and I like the characters, and the world is really interesting. So I enjoy the series. You know what I mean? It's like every single one of these series has its own little problem, but I still say that if you're somebody who hasn't checked out most of these series, give them a go. Besides the ones in the bad tier, I mean, any one of these shows has some redeeming quality to it that you should definitely go ahead and check out. I mean, each one of these shows that aren't in the bad tier are overall good. Like, even the below average ones, I would say you can find something redeeming about them. And if you really want to go that route with 3 of these series, Noblesse, God of High School, and Tower of God, you can always read them on the Webtoon app. If you go ahead and read them online on your computer, you don't have to pay for it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, anyways, that is my Crunchyroll Originals anime tier list. If you guys want to go and do this yourself, I will leave a link to it in the description. And I will be back next week with more regular videos, and I will see you. Goodbye.